What drew me to work with nonprofits is that my dad died of colon cancer when I was 19 years old, and so I always had a heart for helping others that are in need.
It's really a spiritual endeavor. When I was younger, I worked at a camp with kids from the inner city and kids with autism, and just seeing that work was a beautiful thing. Faith became an important part of my life in college, and I just have a tremendous amount of respect for the people who do this work. I don't know if I have the chops to deal with some of the struggles and pain, so I feel like as fundraisers we get to cheat the system and just deal with the success stories and still be a part of this beautiful work we do.
I love working with nonprofits. My first start in nonprofits actually began in a college course when I was a senior in college. And I got to work with a board member from the university, and he took me on a donor trip with him and his wife to Nigeria. And in Nigeria, I was interviewing women to decide who was going to get a small business loan. And the women were lined up around the corner to come and attend a business class that I was supposed to put on. And I just remember being so humbled that I had enough knowledge and skills to offer them to help run a very early business. And I remember looking each one of them in the eye while I was teaching a class and thinking like, the $100 that these donors have given me is going to change their life. And I was so moved. I was planning to go work on Wall Street. I had a finance degree at the time, and was planning to go a totally different direction. And when I got to hand out that first loan, I decided like my business skills make more of a difference in this one person's life than I could ever have on Wall Street trying to make as much money as I possibly could.
What drew me to work with nonprofits? I think opportunity. You know, I worked at Merkle for a number of years, a decade, but in the first year, nonprofit came to my attention, and it really was a chance to stop just working on fulfilling product needs and services and really help people who have a greater need. And there's a humanitarian effort inside to it that makes you feel good about helping others. So I think given the chance to really help other people and organizations fulfill dreams and save lives and help kids and families of all races and ages, I think that was really what drew me to the nonprofit space.
What brought me to work with nonprofits is I kind of just fell into it and then realized that it just had a deeper meaning for me. So I worked on the for-profit side in advertising, realized that I was getting yelled at and getting changes for stuff that just really didn't matter. And then once you get into this work, you just kind of realize that you're doing something bigger than just the advertising.
What drew me to work with nonprofits? That one's actually pretty easy because I started out not working with nonprofits. And I realized that even though I was working on the coolest, kind of latest version of what I was doing there, I just could not get excited about selling more credit cards. I had to have something to do, and I accidentally started working with nonprofits. I did not seek out to do it. I happened to get a job at an agency that worked with nonprofits, and I was like, that's what I was missing. Because now that I get up every day, I'm excited about helping students find their match for college instead of helping someone get their fourth credit card.
Since I was a child, animals have accepted me for who I am unconditionally. Love animals. And so as a result, I actually, in my senior high years, dreamed of possibly going to work for the ASPCA someday. As I found out more about that, I realized I wanted to work local. And so I volunteered my time with the SPCA of Texas and eventually worked there for 10 years.
What drew me to work with nonprofits was kind of a fluke. And what happened is I had a previous supervisor where I had worked call me and say, I've got the perfect job for you. And I actually walked in the door, I had no idea. But after 2 days of learning what I was doing, that I was really truly, at that time, working with the Salvation Army, and I started researching what they did and what they accomplished, I'm gonna say, stay. It was priceless. I mean, you really find out the recovery that they do for people and how they feed people in shelter, and they're out for the holistic person where they offer everything that you need from a daily needs, but you also offer them faith. So yeah, it was definitely just finding out, you know, we all say a true purpose, but really I didn't know it then, but you quickly found out you didn't want to leave. Never did since.